Would you like to know what this week's hottest sports cards are? Welcome to Sports Cards Pro. I'm Coach Co, and we are going to show you this week's hottest sports cards per category using the Sports Cards Pro app. This information you are getting today is entirely for free. So let's jump on over to the Sports Cards Pro page. All right, we've got our lovely landing page here. Before we continue, I would like to say that the information that I am providing you with today is part of a paid subscription. However, just because you have subscribed and are watching this video, you get it for free. So if you haven't hit that notification bell, if you haven't subscribed, I don't know why you're missing out on free information that is otherwise paid for. All right, team, we're going to go into the Tools app. We're going to go into Sales Volume Data, and we are starting, as always, with the basketball cards. Number 1, Michael Jordan. Number 2, Kobe Bryant. Michael Jordan, number 3, Michael Jordan, number 4. Kind of crazy, actually. Michael and Kobe take over these charts on a weekly basis. Now, these charts are based on 7-day volume. So as you can see, the top selling card is the Michael Jordan 26, one we've reviewed on this channel before, 103 cards. What is interesting is I think this is the first time we've seen Shaq this high up on the list. Now, this is Shaq's rookie card, 1992 tops. So another highly populated card. Ungraded copies go for about $6.31. PSA 7s or 7 grade in general is about $6.12. So it's actually cheaper to buy a graded copy than it is to buy a raw copy and grade it. And you're going to see this with a lot of these older cards. So if you have some of these cards lying around, unless it is in absolutely pristine condition, I would highly recommend you just buy the grade, people. Look at this, 7, 8, 9, even a 9.5. I mean, you would pay, let's say the $6 raw, or your card is free regardless. It's going to cost you about $30 these days to grade your card, depending on the grading company. I mean, it's not really worth it. Something to consider. We are heading over to our next category here. We're going to hit this back arrow. I don't know why I got lost. Basketball, we are going into baseball. As we know, baseball season is ramping up. Well, the spring training is ramping up anyway, leading up to baseball season. Ken Griffey's star rookie is number 1 on this list. You're going to see a lot of the cards that are number 1 on this list are number 1 because there's a lot of them out there. And that's why the sales volume is so high. So Ken Griffey's star rookie, number 1. Julio Rodriguez's US 44 is number 2. Tim Lincecum is number 3. What is going on here? This is moments of milestone out of the 2008 set. And for some reason, they have absolutely popped off in the last little while. I'd be interested to see if any influencer or big name in the market mentioned these cards, because it doesn't really make much sense as to why Tim Lincecum's stuff has just absolutely exploded. We're going to go back and we're going to check out exact sales volume, but that is wild. So ungraded copies go for about $1. BGS 9.5s, $20, $23.40. PSA 10 is literally $37. So again, another case where it's really not worth it to buy the card and then try to grade it, unless that's something that you get kicks out of. I personally do. So, but not when the price discrepancy is like this. Yeah. So Tim Lincecum, sales volume, 111 cards. And that is from a 2008 card. So this is something that we have not seen yet on this channel, and something that I'm going to continue to monitor. So if I'm able to piece together why this happened, I'm definitely going to do a follow-up on this at a later date. So again, make sure you hit that alarm bell. We are going to go into our third category, which is football. Brock Purdy dominates this list. Literally dominates this list. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 Purdy cards in the top 5 in terms of sales volume. Why is this? Well, Donruss just came out. Mosaic is still, I mean, it's like a month and a half old. Prism just came out. So people are really buying into this rookie class in the offseason. I mean, obviously people like Brock Purdy, apparently. His Prism rookie is doing about $32 right now, ungraded. There are no graded copies, obviously, because it came out literally last week. When it comes to any of these cards, especially if you're buying in the offseason, you're not going to probably see an uptick in these prices. If anything, as more and more hit the market, you're actually probably going to see these cards drop in price. So as a general rule, especially if you're buying base, I would probably wait. Just wait a little bit. The sales volume is relatively high at 90, so These are some important things that you can learn from just listening to some of this content. You know, you can be a fan of Brock Purdy. You can be a fan of the 49ers, but you can make a strategic buy instead of just buying impulsively and having this card decrease in value almost like instantly. So something to consider. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I'm always going to give you suggestions. Hockey is our next category. Terry Sawchuk, #1. Honestly, I am dumbfounded. Just dumbfounded. Wild that a card from 1969 is the top selling hockey card. It's wild. #2 on this list is Cole Caulfield. Again, I don't know why he is #2 on this list, considering the fact that he's injured right now and the Montreal Canadiens are not doing so well. Actually, you know what? I have a theory. So the Montreal Canadiens are bottom 5 now. Some people might be speculating that Montreal is going to win the draft lottery and thus they're going to take Connor Bedard. Now, obviously, this is a big stretch, especially given the fact that, you know, at 5th place, I think they have like a 10% chance of winning the draft lottery. But if they do, I mean, I have a feeling that people are buying the players around Connor Bedard because his cards are not out in circulation just yet. That's my personal hypothesis. I could be completely wrong about this. His ungraded copy is going for about $59, and you're seeing about 2 a day. BGS 95s are about $290, and PSA 10s are about $300. So there's actually not a big price discrepancy between the BGS 95 and the PSA 10. One thing I will say is, as someone who has collected this specific hockey set and this specific player, a lot of these raw cards are not in great shape. So the quality control on this set specifically was not great, and on the Cole Caulfield specifically. You know, this is something to consider if you're buying raw sight unseen. Just be careful with these eBay listings. I want you to pay attention, zoom in, make sure that you're looking at corners and edges, specifically the edges in this scenario. All right, team? Another little tidbit. You're welcome. All right. Next category is soccer. We have Kylian Mbappe, Lionel Messi, pretty standard on this list. We are going to check out the 2022 Ronaldo. Actually, you know what? No, we're going to go into the Holland. We're going to go into the Holland. So we're going to go a little further down on this list. We're going to go for the Erling Haaland. This is his rookie card. This is, I mean, some would argue that he has a rookie sticker because he's got a few things before, and that's kind of how soccer is tricky. But fortunately, during 2019 and only during the Sapphire set, they started including rookie card logos, as you can see over here in the bottom right-hand side that I'm pointing at. So they started including rookie card logos to designate what their rookie cards are. So it's probably why this card is more popular than other cards in this year, and it's because it's a little easier to establish what his rookie is because Topps has labeled it with the RC logo. Ungraded copies are going for about $560. BGS 95s, and this is the Sapphire version, by the way, so the Topps Chrome UEFA Sapphire 95s are going for about $670, and PSA 10s are doing $780 is what the PSA 10s are going for. This guy's on absolute fire. I think he scored 6 goals in his last 2 matches. He's on pace to break the Premier League record in goals. He's the fastest player to score 30 goals in Champions League history. I mean, there's a lot to like about this player. That being said, he hasn't won anything yet. So this is purely a speculation play. But I mean, you know, that's kind of what the game's all about, I guess. Next is UFC. We have Shafkat? I'm going to say Shafkat. I butchered that name. I'm sorry. Listen, anyone in the comment section, come for me. #1 on this list. I love seeing actual player cards on this list as #1 instead of the boxes. That's just my own bias to see what individual people are picking up. $25 for his Prism UFC card. This is the RC logo, as you can see over here, 2022. $25, ungraded, BGS 9, $95. PSA 10 is $112.50. On to our next category. We are going to go into wrestling. We got Blaster Box, Undertaker. I thought we were going to go an entire video and not see a hobby box or a blaster box tops of the list, but that's okay. Mr. Undertaker is our first player or fighter in this case on the list. This is 1991 classic WWF card. As you can see here, super sharp card. He's wearing the hat, the tuxedo. I mean, this is a classic Undertaker look here. This card was actually selling ungraded back in August of 2022 for $156.53. And then the market just absolutely bottomed out on these. And then you're seeing stabilization around the $30 mark. So $30.70 exactly. PSA 10 copies are an astronomical $3,382. BGS 95s are just over 300. PSA 9s or 9s in general are $187. So I understand why people would be buying this card raw, right? So we talked about it before. Why buy this card raw if, a 9 is cheaper than it is to buy the card and then grade it? Well, I mean, in this case, if you get a 9, a 9.5, or a PSA 10, I mean, you're in the green, right? Let's say you buy one ungraded, $33. You pay $30, $40, $50 to grade. You're all in, maybe $80, maybe shipping included, $100. I mean, if you get a 9, you're at 100 and almost 90. That's good. You're good. You're good, right? So this one makes sense. I mean, he's a legend. It's a great card, even if you wanted to hold it long term. All right, team. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of the hottest sports cards of the week, powered by SportsCardsPro. Thank you so much. If you haven't already, please hit the alarm bell. I mean, hopefully throughout the course of this video, you've seen so many instances where I've been able to provide value absolutely for free. Please don't forget to subscribe, especially because we do giveaways. We've already done one. We're thinking about doing another one. I want you to have a wonderful rest of your day. Happy hunting from Coach Co and Sports Cards Pro.